Alright, so let's talk about momentum and force. So force is equal to an object's mass times its acceleration. So let's say you have a ball and it's moving across a table at an acceleration of 50 meters per second squared. And that just means that every second it gets 50 meters per second faster. So its velocity increases by 50 meters per second every second. And let's say that its mass is 10 grams. The force would equal 50 times 10, or equals 500. So that would be how you measure force, because you multiply mass times acceleration. Okay, now let's see what momentum is. Momentum is similar to force, as it still involves movement, but it involves constant movement. So let's say you have a ball moving through outer space, so there's no friction at all. It would be moving at a constant rate, which is called a velocity. If it's moving at a constant rate, then it has a momentum. This ball would actually not have any force because it's not accelerating at all. So it has momentum, not force. Now this could be 10 grams, and momentum equals mass times velocity. So the difference is that momentum is mass times velocity, and force is mass times acceleration. So this ball would not have any force, but it would have momentum. And the ball from before would have force, and it would also have momentum, because it also has a velocity. If we need to go back, this is 10 grams, 50 meters per second squared. This would have a force of 500, and I'm not going to use units right now, but it would basically have a force of 500. I'm not sure about these units, so you shouldn't always use grams and meters per second squared to calculate force. There might be other units, but anyways. But yeah, so this ball would have a force because it has an acceleration. It increases by 50 meters every second, 50 meters per second every second, and it would also have a momentum. But this momentum would be changing because it's accelerating. So in the first second, for example, it would have an acceleration of 50 meters per second squared, 50 meters per second, I mean, times 10, which equals 500. That's the first one. That's the first second. But in the second second, it would have a velocity of 100 because it increases by 50. And that would go to 1,000. So momentum is mass times velocity, and force equals mass times acceleration. Thank you.